We are live on YouTube. I might go live on Instagram too, but I'm not 100% sure yet. We're live here. I'm going to teach you some money making lessons here. I wanted to do this a little bit later in the evening because so many people have to work during the day, and most of my lives are either if it's on YouTube or Instagram or even inside of my memberships are usually done in the middle of my day. And sometimes people can't make it. So I wanted to do a little bit different this time. I'm also going to put in the chat at the pinned post here. I'm going to put, and it's also in the description. I'm going to put what this is like a fundraiser for. It's for a nonprofit. You can see what's going on in the chat. Let me see. Maybe I will go live on Instagram. Let me see. I'll do that. Let me know in the chat, YouTube, while I'm going live. Woo! While I'm going live on Instagram, let me know where you're calling in from, how long you've been watching, and we'll get it. We'll get it. Hold on a second. How to raise your prices and make more money. Let's do it. Okay. And then I also want to, the link is in my bio. Cool. Love it. So I'm going live on Instagram. That's what I'm doing right now. If you're just joining on YouTube, rock with me for a few minutes. Hey, I'm live on Instagram. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Let's say I'm going to do a pinned post. I'm going to say donate at the link in my bio for $1,200 worth of courses for free. And I'm going to pin that post and then I'll go back to just teaching y'all. Okay, so Instagram, LinkedIn, as long as this works, we'll do this. I'm doing this a little bit later in the evening so that more people can participate. Let me know if you can hear me on Instagram. Hello, I'm live on YouTube, live on Instagram. We're going to go through a couple of things. So I did an hour or so earlier today, but a lot of people have a day job or maybe in a different part of the world and missed it. So we're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to continue our conversation. Candace is in LA like I am. That's awesome. Let's see. So Jackson says, can you loan me $1,000? I'll give you 10,000 in 90 days. Nope. No, I can't. Let's see. I can hear you on Insta. Okay, good. Okay, so everybody, what we're doing is we're going to donate. You still have a few hours left to donate to creating coding careers. If you donate $100, $120, $150, whatever the amount is when you get to the green button, the link is in my bio, the link is in my pinned post, then whatever that amount is, you get $1,200 worth of courses from me as a gift. So it's a really good deal. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson here. So everybody participate. Maybe you want to take notes. Maybe you just want to listen in. But I am going to be talking about a little bit of some Hormozi stuff just because that book just came out. He has a lot of really great insights in this book that some of you have. But also there's a playbook that many of you don't have. It costs $6,000 and I have copies of it. So this is just one of 17 of these playbooks. And I'll show you how big and crazy this playbook is. Hold on a second. $6,000. Crazy. All of this is like, it's like falling on me. All of this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from a couple of the playbooks that talk about making money. There's one about raising your rates. Who here wants to raise your rates and know how to do that effectively and know how to do that to kind of overnight double your revenue and maybe even double or even more your profits? Because when you double your revenue, you may be doing even more so on your profits. Okay, so these two, there's 17 of these. I'm going to show you the two that I have in mind for today. We have the fast cash, the fastest way to rip cash out of a business. We started working on earlier today. And we have the lifetime value. Actually, there's a third one that I want to bring up. And we will go back to the green book that you all may have access to. And what I'm trying to do, well, what I've been doing is going over some of these lessons so that in case you're not understanding what Alex is saying sometimes, Hormozy is saying, then I can help you kind of decode it. Let me know in the chat if you want me to go over some of this and any questions that you may have, but we're just going to kind of do this like live impromptu lesson. Okay, so this third one is raise your prices, price raise, how to raise prices without losing customers. Does that sound good? If you're just joining, these are 3 of the 17 playbooks that I got for spending $6,000 on Hormozy's offer. It was the cheapest offer he had, by the way, other than the book itself. So, okay, so first we're going to talk about the fast cash. We'll come back to that. I'm going to go to the green book and just give you like the basics so we can get all on the same page. We'll level set. I know it's backwards on Instagram. But let's see who's here. Let's see who's all in the room. Okay, cool. Okay. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at the book yet or listen to it. Let me know in the comments. Have you listened to any of the book, read any of it? Do you even know what this book is? Yeah. Sherry says coding demands clarity. Okay. So this whole book, not the playlist yet, the whole book is about, first he talked about, I have it up here. He talked about how do you build an offer? And then he talked about how do you get leads to your offer? And now this new book is about how do you make more per customer? So how do you have an offer and then make money and then make more per customer? And I've been just, reading everything I can with the time that I have the past week. First, I got the book. Then I got the playbooks, went through some of those, been watching videos and stuff. Went to a workshop that he did for the 6K people. And if you don't have an offer yet, that's okay. We're going to talk about that another time. And I teach a bunch about that on my YouTube. If you go to itsaboutdamntime.com, it'll take you right to my YouTube channel. There's a playlist that says beginner for beginners. There's also another playlist that says how to create an offer. You can also go to my memberships and I teach you how to do it there too. But don't forget to donate. And if you donate during this, type in the comments and say, I donated, and tell me how much you paid, because it goes up by $1 each time someone donates. Tell me how much you paid. I'll shout you out. If I don't see you, just say it again. Wait, give me a moment and then say it again if you don't see it. Wicks and Wine says, you're always learning, Arlan. It's what you do. It's true. I'm always learning, and I try to synthesize it and give it back to you so that you can you learn with me. And none of this is difficult. Like none of this is hard. They try to make you think it is so that they have more for themselves, but none of this is hard. Like it's basic, and it's said in many different ways. People have their frameworks and their this and their that and their acronyms and stuff. It's all basic. So we're just going to open up the floodgates so you can have this information. Keymaker, right? Keymaker, not gatekeeper. So this book in general is about, okay, you have your offer, you're selling your offer, you're promoting your offer, you're getting people to your offer. How do you then make money from it? And how do you make even more money from it? So you can think about two basic ways to make more money in your business, in your coaching. And tell me in the comments, are you a coach? What kind of business do you have? Like what do you do if you have one? Or what do you sell? And I'm reading your comments, so go ahead and do that. Two basic ways are to sell more of the thing to more people. And another way is to sell more to the same people, more things to the same people. So more of the same thing to more people, or to sell like more, go vertical and sell more. Now, what we're going to do is like we do during the day is if you hear something that is helpful to you, that is something that's an aha moment for you, that is helping you, write the word gem, G-E-M, gem. It lets me know that it resonates with you, and I'll keep talking about that topic. But those are the two basic ways, right? So what Hormozy does in the beginning of this book is he just kind of takes you through the 4 types of offers that make money. And those 4 types are even on the cover of the book. The 4 types are the attraction offer, something that gets people in, and there's many ways to do it, but it's like, buy one, get one free, or get this many months off of something, or it's this incredible offer that you just cannot believe. The second one is upsell. So when they come in and you sell something, you add, hey, do you want fries with that? Do you want a drink? Would you like to supersize? Would you like a larger popcorn than you got? And then there's the downsell. And I love seeing what you all are working on. So go ahead and keep telling me what you're working on, and make sure to tell me when you donate. There's the downsell. So this upsell, do you want fries with that? Then there's the downsell, because a lot of people will not get that upsell. Either they can't afford it, they don't realize the value of it, or they just don't want it. So what most people do is they sell people something, they skip an upsell, and they'll just like, okay, I sold them. Then what a lot of other people do is they'll sell something, they'll do an upsell, and if someone doesn't do it, because it's like maybe you get 5, 10, 20% of the people who say yes to that upsell, what most people do is they say, okay, cool, and then they check out. What you could do is a downsell to the people who say, no, I do not want the upsell. You downsell them. And because this is backwards on Instagram, it looks like I'm saying upsell when I say downsell. But anyway, you downsell them. And you downsell them in a few ways. And that's what this book is about. How could you downsell them? There's multiple ways. One way could be, okay, would you like this other version of it that's not as cool, that is cheaper? Or, okay, would you like payment plans? These are main ways you can downsell. So the 4th money model is continuity or recurring revenue, like a membership on school, for instance, which I love school. Y'all know I love school. So someone comes in, they're paying $100 a month, and they stay in for as long as you can keep them in, as long as you're giving them value and they feel like they're getting value from that. You can think about Netflix is a continuity offer. These are these different words, means the same thing. Netflix, your gym membership that you probably don't use. Name something that is a continuity offer. What's something that you pay for monthly, or that people pay for monthly? Let me know in the chat. Because once you understand these 4, you're off to the races. What's something that you pay for monthly that would be a continuity offer? Mama Bear says Netflix. Yep. Netflix is definitely one. Subscriptions. What kind of subscription? There are wine subscriptions. You have wines in your name. There are wine subscriptions, like a wine of the month club. Joint chiropractor. Perfect. My mom does that. The Joint is a chiropractor franchise where you pay by the month. And I love their model. I actually was going to do a video about like a case study, because I think it's fabulous. Prepared meal services, your phone, internet. You're getting this. You're getting this. Is exactly right. So what we're saying is you don't have to do all 4 of these, okay? First of all. But if you do any of them, or combine 2 or 3 or even 4 of them, you're going to make more money. So you don't have to have a recurring revenue. It's just one of 4. But if you have it and you also have a really great front end offer, it could be incredible. Actually, let me go back here and give you a little bit of this book, because then we can get into the $6,000 playbook that I have, and we can get into some more advanced stuff. But I want to give you a little bit of this first. So what I want you to do is I want you to vote with a comment. I'm going to give you 4 options, and I want you to tell me which one you want me to talk about right now. I'm going to do like the vote, basically. The first option is the attraction offer. So that main offer. Do you want to learn about attraction offers, upselling, downsells, or continuity, meaning the recurring revenue? Let me know in those comments on both Instagram over here. Hi, Instagram. And on YouTube. YouTube Premium is another continuity. Very good. Yep. I have YouTube Premium. I love it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to wait. Y'all give me something. You tell me what you want because I can go. Okay. I got one recurring and I got one recurring. So both continuity and recurring are the same. So far, that's what you're liking. I'm going to wait, but I'm going to wait because if I only have two people talking, I don't need to be here. Okay. It's like a tie between recurring and attraction. Okay, so let's do attraction and then recurring, and then I'll do one of the price raise. Okay, we'll do those three. On the and I'll do attraction first because it is first in line, so it'll make more sense if we do it in that order. So there are 7 ways that Alex talks about attracting people. We're not going to go through all 7, but I'll just kind of give you a feel for it. So attraction offers generate leads and convert them into customers. They turn advertising into money by offering something free or at a discount. He relies heavily on paid advertising. Obviously, he does a bunch of organic. If you've ever seen his stuff, he has millions of followers. But he relies heavily, and he's made a lot of his money on ads. Not everybody is doing ads, so I'm not going to talk about ads every time. I really like organic, but you can kind of combine them ultimately. And I teach you all about this stuff in all of my memberships and stuff and my videos. So if you're not getting anything or if something's like, oh, I don't know how to do that, you can always subsidize it with that information. He says, we do this because everyone likes a good deal or a great deal. In a great deal, customers get far more value than the price they pay. Strangers can only take your word on value, but they absolutely understand the price. For that reason, discounts make anything a great deal to just about anyone. And the greater the discount, the better the deal. The greatest discount of all, of course, is free. What did he say in a video I watched yesterday? He said something like, people don't care about, like, even people who can spend a lot of money. Is the URL not working? Somebody tell me if the URL, somebody click on the URL for me. If I click on it, it may go away. Y'all check my URL for the donation and tell me if it's not working. Somebody just said on YouTube it's not working. Because I definitely want to make sure we are getting everybody, we're getting them so they can make their $30,000 so they can stay in business. That's our big goal. We went from 0 to like almost $6,000 in less than 2 days. And we're going to get to 30,000 by Friday. I know it. Okay. You tried it twice. Let me hear somebody else. Is it just Jeremy's device? I know that the link in my Instagram bio works, but what about here on YouTube? Somebody try it and let me know if it works for you. And we'll get right back into the lesson. I tried it twice. Yeah. YouTube, come on, y'all. Holler at me. YouTube is like snoring. Come on. Instagram is over here just flying. And I only put it like a 1-second pause. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I might have to close out YouTube because Instagram is over here winning me over. It's not working. Okay. So let me fix it real quick, y'all. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So let me fix it. And we'll try this. Y'all let me know if this one works in YouTube. The one that is, yeah, this one should work. This one definitely should work. Yeah, it works for me, but that doesn't mean anything. It could work for me and not you. Okay, try this new one. If you're just joining us, we are learning about money models, how to make more money. If you're into that, let me know. Okay. Try the link in the description if that's not working, and we'll keep it moving. All right. Yeah, you just tested on YouTube. I wonder why it's not working on YouTube. You know, YouTube itself might be blocking it. I don't know. Is it taking you to somewhere? Is it just not letting you click? Because it might be YouTube blocking it, because sometimes YouTube can think that you're being scammy. It's working now. Yay. All right, cool. So thank you for that, Jeremy. I appreciate you. Okay. I kind of forgot where it was, but he said that, what did he say? The people, even people who can afford a large amount will pay less because people don't care about not spending money. They care about getting a good deal. So said another way, think about all the celebrities and the rich people that we know about who get free stuff. Like they get it backstage, they get something free, they go into restaurants, maybe it's comped, a brand might do something for them. And they do it because they like a good deal. Like they're humans, right? So even people who make a lot of money and would spend more, they will still come in early into your ecosystem on a discounted lower price. Even what we're doing right now, I'm helping you donate tax deductible. I am saying donate $100, $150 to creating coding careers and get $1,200 worth of free courses. There are people right here watching me right now who could afford the $1,200 easily, like easily afford it. But they jump on, oh, I'm going to get it 20 bucks. I'm going to get it 50 bucks. I'm going to get it 100 because it's a deal. So that's what Alex is saying here is like these attraction offers. The first part here, that's why there's a magnet. They're meant to bring all types of people into your ecosystem, not just people who are, can only afford a few dollars. Therefore, you can create a really great discounted or free offer and attract people who can afford to pay you a lot more later. And maybe later is soon, maybe even that same day. So have you seen these ads or seen where somebody, like if you think about my free plus shipping book, or you've seen ads like pay $27, get 27 courses. They're doing that because when you go in, you pay this small amount, you get this great deal or even a lead magnet that's free. And once you're there, they have your email address. They can talk to you. They can talk to you on the landing page. You may even watch like a webinar or something. And once you're there, they can sell you something else. So if you do free or you do discount, it doesn't matter. Both are going to be effective. People look for one thing and then buy another by accident all the time. Attraction offers get them to do it on purpose. But what's a better deal than free stuff? More and better free stuff. One free thing is awesome, and I'm reading this. 2 free things are awesomer. And maybe to get those 2 free things, they have to buy one. That's how we make money on free stuff. So in this section, he says, and again, you can get this book. And even if you go to some of my YouTube videos, you can get, and inside of my memberships, you can get this for free, just pay shipping, because I bought 200 for you. And I think those are sold out. So we're actually going and we're using Lakeisha's. She has donated some of hers as well. So in this section of the book, he talks about 5 attraction offers: the win your money back, giveaways, decoy offers, buy X, get Y free, and pay less now or pay more later. I'll have him go over that. You can get the book, get the audio book, you can watch his courses, his videos, but that's the gist of it. So then if we skip through upsells, downsells, because they're pretty straightforward, but also he adds he has the classic, the menu, the anchor, the rollover, the upsell, conclusion, whatever. If we skip that and go to continuity on page 133, if you have your book, you can follow along. Yay, Janessa says, I just got my book today. Thanks for the deal. No problem at all. Okay, so if you skip to page 133 in this book, if you have it, he talks about continuity. And we've already established that all that means is like Netflix, gym membership, subscriptions. He says, I've been a continuity guy my entire life. Personal fitness, then gyms, then gym licensing, then supplements, then software, and now with his acquisition.com site. Needless to say, I'm a fan. The main reason is that when you do continuity right, you get more customers and make more money from those customers. Kind of the big picture here. Continuity offers provide ongoing value that customers make ongoing payments for until they cancel. They boost the profit from every customer and give you one last thing to sell. So you can sell all this other stuff, and then you can say, kind of, the end of it, like the book end of it, is come into my membership, spend some time with me over time. Once you sell once, you get paid again and again. So you only have to pay once. You only have to sell it one time, truly. I mean, you may have to do some maintaining, some nurturing, and there's a whole process, but ultimately you do that. Okay, so he goes on and gives some examples, does a lot of storytelling. But he basically tells you that. Now, one thing to be cautious of when you're doing continuity is churn. If anybody knows what churn is, go ahead and tell me in the comments. Tell everybody else too. But churn basically is what percentage of the people that are in your membership or in your continuity offer how many people leave on a month-to-month basis or an annual basis. And if you have high churn, it's like, okay, it's like having a leaky boat. Because you can bring in traffic, you can bring in people. Okay, there's like 100 people who saw the website, 10 of them signed up. Awesome. But if you have 10 people signing up every month and then 10 people leaving, because you have 100 total and 10 people leave every month, that's just like, it's exhausting. And it's pretty standard to have that high churn. I personally have really low churn in my school memberships, like ridiculously low. The average, or I guess not average, but the okay amount of churn is 10% or more, or 10% or less per month. I have 2% or less in every one of my memberships. Telly the model says, I love your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love doing it. Because, you all come up to me and you tell me in person, you're like, I learned this, I did this, I applied this, I made this money. And as long as y'all keep doing that, as long as you keep sending me those messages, and letting me know your stories, I'm going to keep doing this. So continuity can be really, really cool. You can use bonus offers. So you can, I think I'm going to illustrate kind of the summary of this book by telling you a story that Alex tells at the beginning of it. And then I'll get into the $6,000 playbook if you want. Let me know in the comments if you want me to get into that 6K playbook. He tells a story of how he used to have a gym. And he started, he's made millions of dollars, and he started off with having one gym. And he was making okay, but he was like, maybe had 2 months left in the bank account, and he was going to have to like give it up. So he had his landlord came by, and they were friendly. And he told the landlord, like, I'm in trouble. And he's like 22, 23 at the time. And he's like, I'm in trouble. I don't think I'll be able to keep the gym. And his landlord said, let's go to lunch. Let's talk. So they go to lunch, and his landlord starts to, probe him about what's happening. And he's like, yeah, I have this many customers. We're doing this amount. I charge this much, like $100 or $149 a month, or whatever the amount is that he charged, and had this many customers. And he said, okay, let's go on a field trip. So he takes Alex to his place that he owns, because he owns that gym, the land and the building, or just the building. But he takes him to a storage unit, like a big, you go put your stuff in storage. He owns this whole storage company, and he walks him around, and he takes him to somebody who works there, and he starts to rattle off how much. Like, he says he makes millions of dollars doing this. Then he says, what's the difference between your gym and what I'm doing? And he starts to list off all of the things people need when you get a storage. He said, okay, let's keep going. So first you get a storage, and think about this for yourself too, because it's a good exercise. You get a storage unit. What do you need next? You probably need some sort of insurance. Like, they get $100K in insurance, but maybe you need more insurance. So they can sell insurance. What else do you need? Well, you need a lock. You need an industrial sized lock. You can't just get like a little lock that you use on your school locker, right? So you get this $30, $40 lock. How many people here have paid like mega bucks for one of those heavy storage locks. I know I have. I can feel it in the weight of it in my hand. That's how much I've had those. You buy this mega lock. Maybe you need boxes. Maybe you need the dolly. Maybe you need to rent the dolly because you're not going to just have a dolly around. Maybe there's a truck. Maybe you don't. They don't have a truck, but maybe you're using a truck, and we can help you with the dolly to get things going. What else is there? Tape. What else do you get sold while you're at the storage unit, right? So he starts listing all of this off, and then the storage unit itself is a continuity offer. You got all your stuff in there, so you're going to keep paying every month as long as you can. And I know, personally, I have 2 storage units that I've been paying on for like 3 years. That's ridiculous. I've paid more than the stuff in it's worth. But he used this to illustrate how he makes more money from the same customer. So he has more customers and then he makes more, because you can't, if you have a storage unit, you can only have so many customers. So he has to find a way to have depth in addition to width. So when he told Alex that, Alex immediately knew, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Not only am I going to just sell this gym membership, I'm going to upsell supplements. I'm going to upsell a package of months at a time. I'm going to upsell one-on-one coaching, which he might have already been doing at that point, but it didn't sound like it. So he added all these things that he's upselling, and he was able to, let me see if I can find it fast enough, how much he was able to make. And if you have the book, you can find it too. It's in the first few pages. He was able to go from, let's see. Yeah, so he started off with like a $39 6-week special on a discount site. Like what is it called? What's that discount site? Coupons, or what's it called? That's the kind of thing he's talking about. So then, let's see. It's a long story, so he keeps going, but let me see what he says. So he said, oh, that's another one. What is it called? Groupon. Yes, thank you. Okay. So this guy had 27 of these locations, of those storage locations, because he had just rinsed and repeated. So when Alex heard that, he's like, yep, I got work to do. 2.5 years later, Alex had 6 gyms and a bunch of money. So he then paid somebody else and he learned another lesson. He paid somebody $25,000 and learned another lesson that would go on to make him millions of dollars. So that's truly about investing in yourself. Speaking of investing in yourself, we are doing a fundraise for a nonprofit called Creating Coding Careers. When you donate at the links that I have here pinned to the top of the YouTube and pinned on my bio on Instagram, you're getting a tax-deductible donation. We get to help somebody out. You can watch the video there. You can see what's going on. I don't mind if you leave for a few minutes to check it out. And then you get $1,200 worth of courses from me. And these are like legit courses. If anybody's already purchased it and taken a look, let them know in the comments. These are legit purchases, like courses, okay? These are like ones that are truly on sale right now for $1,200 live. So don't forget to do that. We are at $109. We want to get to $250. And what that means is every time someone donates, the price goes up by $1. So if you donate $109 right now, if you're that person, let me know. Hold on. Pause me. If you're that person, let me know, and then it'll go up to $110. And if more than one person is on it at the same time, it'll charge them both the same and then skip to the next. So we want to be at $250 by Friday. We started on Monday night around this time, Monday night. So 48 hours ago, we now have made more than $5,000 for that entity, and almost $6,000 actually. Almost $6,000 for CCC. I'm very proud of you all. So happy that you're doing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And people in the comments are vouching for these courses. There's on Instagram at least. YouTube is there are more people watching on YouTube, but very quiet because you have to be a subscriber to comment. If you have to be a subscriber and you want to comment, subscribe. Simple. Okay, so we have some of those foundations. Anybody have any takeaways? Anybody getting any value from this so far? This has been really fun to read through and understand this week, so I'm just sharing it with you as fast as I possibly can. We're going to talk about raising your price. We're going to talk about raising your price. Now, this is a playbook that I received because I spent $6,000 invested in myself, and I got 200 books to give away. So I've been doing that. I think I already did it. And then I also got these playbooks, which I'm going to show you in case you weren't here when I showed before. Here's this massive playbook bundle. Woo! Whoa. And there are all kinds of stuff about ads and about team and about operations. But these three, there's a fourth one, are about money, making money. So this one's the price raise. Price raise. Okay. So let's get into raising your prices. Now, you want to raise your prices. I'm going to tell you why. It's a good idea. So this is from Hormozy. When most business owners set their prices, they look around, see what everyone else is charging, and then charge somewhere in the middle on average. But most don't know the big secret that everyone else is broke. So why are we copying them? Thank you so much for the love in the chat. Appreciate you, Instagram and YouTube. I appreciate you too, even though you're quieter. And this broke off earlier. So if this falls, nobody make fun of me. All right, let me get this a bit more positioned so we can really get into it. Okay. So why are we copying broke people? On some level, you may realize this or you wouldn't be here. But do you want to know another secret? The easiest way to make money, I'm going to pause, get on the edge of your seat. The easiest way to make money, is to charge more for the same stuff. He says it's brilliant, yet nobody does it. People have a lot of difficulty with raising prices. They're either afraid of getting angry messages, they're afraid that their sales will drop, or they simply don't think they're worth the amount of money. Over the long term, it becomes a race to the bottom, with you and every other poor business owner competing to have the lowest price. Is this feeling like he's coming at you? The rich get richer and the great economic divide continues to grow because rich people understand the more you charge, the more you make. If anything angers you about this, use that anger, channel it. We're going to take this information and we're going to use it for ourselves. Am I right? Am I wrong? It's not as direct of a link as you might guess. Smart business owners use that extra money to make more and better advertisements. I'm going to replace advertisements with investments. Make constant product improvements and pamper their customers. So true. When I have a lot of different prices that I charge for different things. And when I have something that costs $1,500, something that costs $5,000 and even more. When I charge the $5,000 and the $10,000 and the $20,000, I'm able to pamper the customers more. I'm able to spend more time with them individually, and therefore they get even more value out of it. So it's not only helping you to make more money, it's actually helping the customer to get more value from you because you have the ability to, because you're doing it. It's another way of saying it is how I talk about this all the time. Thank you, Angela. Angela says, I love you, Arlan. I love your course, and it's fire. Thank you. You get 4 courses when you donate. Make sure you go to the links here. Okay. What I say is, tell me if this is you, or if you relate to this, or you know somebody like this. You charge, you or somebody who is a really great person and you have a good heart and you want as many people as possible to have what you have to offer because you want to be accessible. You want to serve a certain type of person. Think about who you want to serve right now. Who is that avatar? Who is that ideal client? You're wanting to serve them. So you say, well, I'm going to keep my prices low so that they can afford it. You keep your prices low so that more people can afford it. But a couple of things end up happening. One is that even though they're low prices, not a ton of people buy it still for one reason or another. Another is because it's low prices, even the people who bought it, the total is just a little bit of money every month. So you are on fumes, barely getting by. And then some of the people who spent a little bit of money start becoming very hectic. They start asking for more. They're very confused. They want more of you compared to what you're charging. So it's draining you. It's actually making you a little bit bitter. Is any of this starting to resonate at all or feel familiar from the past? Then, because you've tried this for months and you just can't get enough volume of people to pay the small price that you're charging, you actually have to go out of business or stop doing that offer altogether and either go back to the day job or give up on your dream. And therefore, all the people you wanted to serve don't get served at all. Right? So, what I have said in the past is what you do instead, because I feel that I always want to serve, I always want to give people access. What you do instead, if you don't have the bank account you want, but you want to do everything we're talking about, is you charge the value of your offer to the people who can afford it, and they'll let you know that they can afford it. You don't decide for them. They'll tell you, but by buying it. So you charge what it's worth, even though some people can say, oh, that's a lot. Who do you think you are? You tell them who you are. You know how to pronounce your name. That's who I am. You charge that. People who can afford it or who will find a way will pay it. And because you don't need as many people to pay for it to be enough, like let's say you're trying to do 10,000 a month, you have 4 people, one person a week paying $2,500, just as an example, you're able to keep head above water. And here's the best part. Here's the fun part. Because you have your bills paid and because you keep the lights on and because you're not stretched in every direction, you then get to do whatever you want for the people you want to serve. So that could look like, hey, I have clients that pay me $1,000 to $10,000 each. I have a handful of clients, 5 clients who do that. On Fridays, I do a 2-hour free workshop for everybody else who can't afford that. Why? Because you can. Because you haven't priced yourself so low that you've priced yourself out of the game. I see it time and time and time again. This is my latest book. There are 20 case studies in here. And in almost all of the case studies, this was happening with very brilliant, amazing people. But it's because they had their heart first. They weren't thinking through, wait a minute, let me go ahead and get paid when I need to get paid. And then I can do the other stuff like I can be a philanthropist today. I don't have to be rich. Y'all feeling me? Is this making sense? I see the love. I see it. Okay. So that's another version of this. Is part of us not raising our prices or charging the value. Some of it is like we just don't know to do that. Some of it is that but most of it is like mental. Most of it is I don't think I'm allowed to do that. I don't think it makes me a good person to charge more. I want you to think about the last 5 things you paid for. Was on the medical, entertainment, food, bills, rent. What was the last 5 things you paid? Just think about it. You have to say it. Most of those things we're not arguing. I mean, some of them, I argue all the time, but most of them you're not arguing, right? We're saying, oh yeah, I went and got gas. I paid for it. I took the bus. I paid to get on the bus. I went to the doctor. My insurance and I paid for it, and I paid insurance. I got this car, paid for it. Went to Beyonce. Now we cuss her out when she drops her tickets, and we're like, $600? How dare you, Beyonce? And then what do? All of us, the day of the concert, y'all on Instagram with your hats and am I wrong? Tell me when I start lying. Tell me when I start lying. We're paying Beyonce $600 for a ticket, $300, $1,000. I got a suite last time. We're paying that because she's worth it. Not even worth. There's no TH in it. Is that Queen Latifah? How in the world is Queen Latifah in here? But don't calm down. I'm gonna calm down. Everybody be cool. Be cool. It's happening. It's happening. We pay for Beyonce. Hi, Queen. We pay for Beyonce because she's worth it with an F. Worth it. You are worth more than you are charging people. Y'all say y'all not gonna be cool. Okay, that's cool. That's not just me. I mean, come on. But it's true. I know I'm not going to speak for Latifah, but I bet you she's been in a situation where somebody has downplayed her worth, and she knows what she can do at the box office. She knows what she can do with some clothing, with some this and that and the other. She's a tastemaker. But we can't do that to ourselves. We're the last people who should be downplaying our value, because everybody, everywhere we turn, is going to try. So that's why raising your price is a good idea. I'm going to show you how to raise your price, or a little bit of some options to raise your price. Again, I'm taking this from this book and from my own. This is a playbook that costs $6,000. This is my book. You get this for free if you're a member of any of my memberships. Also, some bonuses that I gave away. You can find it arlansrevenueplaybook.com. I know people were asking earlier. I think Instagram has, by the way, stopped listening to me because they're trying to talk to Queen Latifah, who just came into my live. I just saw you. I was at courtside at the Sparks yesterday, and I saw you courtside at Liberty. Okay. So I think I brought home the point that you need to increase. Does everybody agree with me? Is everybody hearing me when I say you need to raise your prices? It doesn't mean you have to raise your prices tomorrow and that everything needs to be more expensive and that you have to panic. It just means mentally, we're going to start thinking about what is one thing we can start. What is one thing we can change? And how would that affect our revenue and our profit? There's a difference. Revenue is how much money you bring in. So if you sell wigs, and I don't know how much stuff costs. I should have chosen something else. But if you sell wigs and it costs you $70 to procure that wig, and you sell it for $140, you made $70 profit. Kinda. You have overhead, you have other things, but just for this example. So that's revenue is what you brought in is the 140. The profit, simply put, is the 70 on top of the 7 that you paid. Okay. Now, let me look at lifetime value. I think we looked at fast. Okay, you tell me which one you want. Let's do another vote. Do you want fast cash or lifetime value? Do we want long-term or now? I think I know who's going to win, but you tell me. Thank you for donating, by the way. I'm seeing your donations come in. Creating coding careers. Go to the links that I have in my bio and in the pinned comment on YouTube. I'm seeing that you're buying it as we're here live. When you donate at the amount that's there, right now it's $112. You get $1,200 worth of my courses for free. I'm donating $300,000 worth of courses for this. So I'm doing this live so we can learn these lessons and also raise money for this amazing nonprofit. Shout out to Mike. Okay, so who do we have here? Fast cash, fast cash, fast cash. Okay, fair, fair, fair. Everybody said fast cash. Okay, so some people said both. I got you. So we'll do the fast cash. All right, let's get into it. And the way he puts it is the fastest way to rip cash out of a business. Okay, so I'm gonna slow it down and unbro it down. Okay. Now these are fast cash plays. So just to give you the story, because Alex gives a lot of stories first, right? So I'm going to tell you the story real quick. So he was making a bunch of money. This was post that conversation he had. It was a couple years later. He was making money. Everything was going well. He was charging thousands of dollars per month to his customers now. No longer was he doing just gym work. He was now licensing his gym work to other people. And he said, all of a sudden people started stop paying the monthly. And he's asking his team what's going on. And they said, the ads are costing us so much money, or costing our clients so much money, because this is about ads. You know, he loves running ads, that they don't have enough money to pay us. It's extra. So they're all going away. So he said, okay, you've had conversations with these guys. Do you think that if they had the money, they would still pay? Is it us, or is it the situation? And they said, yeah, if they had the money, they would do it. He said, okay, give me a couple hours. I'll come back with all the copy. I'll have a plan for them. Give me a moment. So he comes back and he says to them, you're going to do this fast cash play. All these gyms across the country, you're going to do this fast cash play. I'm going to help you make a few $1,000s so you can pay us what you owe us. Smart, first of all. And it's what I try to do as much as I can. So it's basically why I'm doing this, is because I want you all to be able to keep your head above water and thrive. And then 1% of you are going to buy from me, right? So I'm practicing what I preach here. So it's like 99%, I just get to, out of the goodness of my heart, see. And then 1% are going to buy. Okay. So he does this and it works. People start selling. They start taking his money models, his fast cash play, and they start making, like he said, the average business collected an extra $30,000 in cash. 30,000, and that's by selling something that costs between $3,000 and $5,000. So that's not that's not a lot of people. That's 6 to 10 clients. Thank you so much. You donated $111. Kavion, thank you so much. Awesome. Y'all keep those coming. If you did 111, that means it's gone up by quite a bit since I looked at it. It goes up by $1 every time someone donates. We started at 1. Cool. Okay. So he's saying the fact that he was able to give what he's about to tell you, what we're going to talk about in a minute, to like this idea to his customers, helped them make $30,000 on average. They therefore were able to pay him his $4,000 or $5,000 that they owed him each, because cash is king, or cash is queen. I don't even know if she's still here, y'all. I'm just going to pretend she is. Okay. I'm going to pretend. Okay. So y'all ready to hear how he did this? Let me know in the comments. Angela says, everyone get the revenue playbook and Arlan's all access and donate. Thank you. Arlan knows what's up. I've learned so much. Thank you, Angela Wright. I appreciate you. Okay. Every business benefits from having a few fast cash plays in their back pocket. I am reading again. They are limited time offers. This part's really important, so please take notes on this part. Please take notes, because every word is carefully chosen, and anything that I tell you is carefully chosen, because this could easily be mistaken for just kind of having a sale or da-da-da-da-da. Fast cash plays, bump sale was a fast cash play. Okay. Limited time offers promoted to your warmest audiences. This part is important. So what some people do is they're stubborn and they hear me say this and they say, okay, I'm going to promote it to everybody. We didn't say promote it to everybody. We said promote it to your warmest audiences. What does that mean? Your current customers, previous customers, and all your engaged leads, the people who have given you explicit permission to contact them about the stuff that you sell. To be clear, a fast cash play is different from nurturing new leads about your main offer. They may not even hear about it because your new leads may not even hear about this. I do this all the time. I send things that are exclusively for current customers. It may not even be all the current customers, maybe a very specific one. Okay? They're different than nurturing your new leads about your main offer. It's also different from the long-term value add, like content emails, nurturing, keeping your list warm. It is like time constrained, 24 hours, 72 hours, etc. They're more like winning lottery tickets that you cash in once a quarter. And he actually does suggest you do this every quarter. So I would do it maybe around a holiday or maybe even not a holiday. Because I remember last Black Friday, I can't remember who it was, but somebody says they don't do Black Friday sales because everybody's doing one. So they do one at a time nobody's doing one, but in the same quarter. This means you run a specific promotion to your existing customers 5 times per year. The first time could be tomorrow. I'm saying that. That's my interjection. To be clear, this is on top of whatever else they're paying for. And in case you're curious, know your customers won't mind, at least if you do it this certain way. Okay, so their fast cash plays are specifically designed to make the most money. And by the way, the person who wrote this made $100 million in the past 9 days. So I would listen to him. I certainly have. This book is full of fast cash plays. This is my book. Your First Million is not full of them, and It's About Damn Time is not full of them. But I teach them all day. It's designed to make the most money in the shortest period possible from the people most likely to buy it. Those 3 things are so important, so I'm going to say it again because this is the crux of it. Fast cash plays, as described in this playbook, are specifically designed to make the most money in the shortest period possible from the people most likely to buy it. For most businesses, this means their existing customers. Fast cash plays are limited spots to create scarcity. We learned about scarcity in like elementary school, right? Demand and supply and demand. High touch exclusivity and sold for lots of money. Big ticket for a limited time urgency. So we have scarcity. There are only a few of these. We're only doing like 3 of these or 8 of these or 10 of these. We're doing exclusivity. We're doing exclusivity as in you get these bonuses that nobody else gets. Thank you, Wicks and Wine, reading It's About Damn Time for the 2nd time now. Love it. We're talking big ticket, so you're charging more than you're used to. And in this case, he suggests you charge 5 to 10 times what you're used to charging because he believes that 5 to 10% of your customers will buy it. 10% of your customers have the ability to buy it. Apparently, 1 in every 9 Americans is a millionaire. And I think that's American adults. So I'm going to say, imagine that. It's crazy. For a limited time urgency, we have 8 spots available. You get one-on-one time with me. It costs $5,000 when most of my things cost $500, and it's only available for the next 72 hours. As an example, they create tremendous profit for 2 reasons. First, you've already acquired the leads you advertise to, so there's no additional cost to make the sale. Second, Bigger price tags tend to have much better margins. You're not spending advertising dollars because you're not going to new people. You're going to your current people. So there's no additional cost to make the sale. And then if you have bigger price tags, like I talked about earlier, let's say that same wig, it costs you $70 to procure it. You usually sell it for 140, but in this case, let's say this wig comes with a one-on-one fitting, and you'll go to their wedding and all kinds of stuff, and it costs 1,700. Let me do it a different way. Maybe it comes with a one-on-one call with you. Okay, 1,700. What if it's still 70 or so dollars to deliver? Then your profit margins went crazy. Your profit margins went from 50% to 90%, 95%. Okay. If you only have one fixed priced offer that you offer everybody, you cap how much any customer can spend. This is a big deal, y'all. How many offers do you have? Type it in the comments. Do you sell more than one thing? And I don't mean like, oh, I have 10 different SKUs of the same thing. I'm saying, do you just sell something that costs $10? Do you just sell something that costs 100? Or do you have 3 or 4 or 5 offers? He's saying cap, if you only sell one thing at a fixed price, you are capping how much any customer can spend. And then some of your customers not only can spend more, they want to spend more. Yeah, the amount that we're going to talk about in a minute is 5 to 10x. So let's say you sell something today that costs, let's say you have a membership on school that costs $50 a year. A fast cash play would be to charge $500 for something really special, a VIP day or something. Or let's say you charge $2,000 for your one-on-one coaching, like 6 weeks or something, whatever it is. A fast cash play would be to charge $10,000 and add some stuff to it. So we're going to talk about what in a minute. By making other offers available, you allow people who want to spend more money. They've just been waiting. They're pent up. They've been waiting to spend more with you. And now you've offered them something, and then they'll all actually be able to do it. You'll make a lot more money if you have the stuff for them to buy. They can afford it, and he'll prove it to you. So I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm starting to get into the nitty gritty of it. He says 10x the 10%. If you get 10% of your customers to pay 10x the price, you double your revenue. I'm going to do 10 and 5. So, because I've seen him say it different ways. So I'm going to say that 5 to 10% of your customers can afford to pay 5 to 10 times what you already charge. And whenever I say 5 on one, I'll say 10 on the other. So 5% can afford to pay 10 times what you charge, or 10% can afford to pay 5 times what you charge. Put pen to paper and do this math. So he says 10 and 10, but he's also said 5 and 10 and 5 and 10 and 5. You know, different things have worked for him. Business owners forget how fast ultra premium prices add up to mountains of cash. If you are here on this call and you make 100,000, 200,000 or more in your coaching, in your whatever you offer, you could be making 2 times that almost overnight. You could be. And way more. Okay, my battery's getting a little low, so I'm going to go in a moment, but all good. Okay. Now it says, if you want to have a big spending type of offer, you want to get the attention of the big spending group that's within your customer base. To get that attention, you limit the number of buyers. So price it like you mean it. If 1 out of 10 buy something for 5x or for 10x, we're really cooking. Okay. Now, he tells different ways you could do this. Let's see. Okay. Advertise to your existing customers, your previous customers, engage leads. Here's some examples of what you could sell. I've done every single one of these. It works. And I know that I have an audience, but I also used to be homeless. So I've done these at different stages of my life. Like when I needed money 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I sold $30 one-on-one calls. So I could have sold, and that's one thing you can do right now, $30 one-on-one calls, $97 one-on-one calls. Okay. I could have had a $150 offer, a $300 offer to do it for them. Instead of telling them how to do something with their blog, I could have written it for them. Ghostwriter. Okay. So I'm going to give you some more examples. One-on-one attention from you or senior people in your company. So it could be where you do one-on-one, and I keep talking about these VIP days. I'm telling you, a VIP day at any stage, a VIP day can change everything for you. If you're somebody who's watching this who makes a lot of money and you don't have a VIP day option, let me encourage you to start one. 5, 6, 8 hours of your time on one day. They come to you or they pay you more to come to them. You work with them. You can even prep them if you want, but you work with them. They can do a survey, something that you look over, you meet with them, and whatever it is you offer, you help them do that thing or you do it for them. There's so many options for that. And let me know in the comments if you want me to give you more examples, but that's like the simplest one to plan because it's about proximity to you and it's about them having your undivided attention. The next thing to think about is that it should be personalized and customized versions of what you already do. Super customized and personalized is worth a lot more. Another thing you can offer is convenience. So you could say one of these things, or you could combine some of these. Attention, personalization. The next is convenience. Something like 24-hour support, extended hours for them only. Think about if you had a really fancy suit store in a city and it was open from 10 to 5 for everybody or from 10 to 7 for everybody. But for your very exclusive clientele, they could come in from 7:30 to 9 and have the place to themselves. So if you have a brick and mortar place, if you have anything like that, something you could do tours, you could give them early access or late access. There's a lot of stuff you could do. The next thing is status. So do they get special parking passes? Do they get badges? Do they get public recognition? That goes such a long way. That goes a long way for me, honestly, because I'll spend like $500 or $1,000 on something if it means that my little name, will be right next to somebody else's. It's on it's pixels on a screen. But I'm like, yeah, I get to be listed there. If you think about what we're doing with this donation, I added this. I called up Mike, who's leading the nonprofit that we're doing this donation drive for. And I told him a few things, make this video, do this, we're going to use a bump cell. And then I said, we were about 50 in people. I said, okay, we absolutely have to list names now. If we list names, more people will donate because you can donate more than once. So your name could show up more than once. And people are looking at this, hundreds of people are looking at this list. So they might see somebody's name twice. So it's status. If you've donated already, go look for your name on that page. Yeah, a lot of times we do this without charging more. We're going to change that. I'm seeing in the comments. Okay, the next thing is duration. Longer duration than the standard solution. So instead of doing whatever you do now, maybe you extend it. I just did this very recently with my inner circle. I had an extended option. And 35 out of 95 of my members took it because it was exclusive. It added duration, it added value. And I did it with 1 week, 1 week time. The next thing is speed. Can they be first in line? Can they have priority? Can they have fast return response times? Can they get a dedicated, I'm just saying this myself, can they get a dedicated customer service line? Can you have somebody jump on and do chats with them? How are we feeling on YouTube? My quiet YouTube folks, what are we doing over here? We're at 70 minutes in. How's everybody feeling? How you doing, Instagram? How are we feeling? I'm going to check and see where we are on our donations because I'm going to go in a sec. That's not the page. Wow. We're doing it. Let me plug my phone in. Give me a sec. We are doing it, y'all. I'm doing all kinds of stuff to my laptop by doing this. Don't fall. Okay. Let's bring that back up. Come back here. Good. We're okay? Good. This is why I don't do things at night. That's why I don't do speaking at night because my voice goes away because I talk so much. Okay, we're not done yet. We have talked about different ways to do the fast cash: attention, personalization, convenience, status, duration, speed. There are 4 more things we could do. Experience. Think white glove service, personal cell phone access. I have this with my inner circle. Inner circle members have my personal phone number. They text me, they leave me messages, I leave them voice messages all the time. A concierge line, nice dinners. I just took 2 of my inner circle members to sit courtside at the Sparks last night as a surprise. Thank you. Let me see who that is. Spark Fire says you are dropping gems. Thank you so much. The next thing is access, in-person experiences, retreats, normally restricted areas, behind the scenes. What I'm doing, I'm going to add to your first million live in 2026. Purple pass holders from the first year got to have first row, crazy seats. They got to get pictures with almost every one of our speakers, including Issa Rae, Rich Paul, Sheila Johnson, etc. And this time in April 8th and 9th at Your First Million Live, I'm going to have Purple Pass members get to go on stage. Not during the event, but get to go and tour with me the venue. So I can tell them what's planned and what they get to see behind the scenes of. This is something, right? Fast cash. The next one is network. So connection with other top customers. This one is huge. A lot of times people think that they're signing up for Inner Circle or for Arlan's All Access or for VIP days with me that are groups. Sometimes I have group ones, sometimes I have solo ones. That they're doing that to be around me. And in a lot of cases they are, and it ends up being very helpful to them. What I tell them, far exceeds the amount they paid. It helps them make a lot more money than that in most cases. But what they find is it's the other people there that they actually get along with even better. And they start collaborating and they start talking. If you were at Your First Million Live, that's the case. If you have been in any of my programs in person, my masterminds, inner circle, if you've done anything with me, you know that that's true. If you're in one of my memberships, you get to talk to each other. So when you do this, like when Hormozy did his book launch, one of the reasons he made so much money is that he sold a $24,000 offer. Yes, they were buying it so they could get these free books to give away. Yes, they were buying it so they could get this $6,000 mammoth playbook that I got. But they also did it so they could be around other people who could afford $24,000. Thank you, Rose. You're one of those people who's authentic. Thank you. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I know this is like falling on Instagram, but I'm trying to charge it at the same time. Does that make sense? They paid not just for the stuff and to be around Alex and to see his live stuff and da-da-da-da-da. They paid because they're like, I know why I'm able to afford that. If I'm around other people who are able to afford it, they must be doing something right. They can give me information. We can share that. Okay. And then the last thing he lists here that you want to throw in, and again, you can do a mixture. You don't have to do all of these, but you mix it up. Secrets, meaning exclusive bonuses, trade secrets, the exclusive playbooks that he uses internally. It's all there. Access to vendors that you may have already vetted, a secret menu, a black book. Anybody can make this stuff. Anybody can prepare this stuff if you think hard enough. So you want to have, of these 10 or so things, you want to have 1 to 3 of these core components in your fast cash offer. Don't have to have them all, but just have 1 to 3. If you have bonuses, cool too. How many to sell? We want to cap how many people can buy it. So at first, I suggest, he says, capping it at a number that you will absolutely sell out. You absolutely want to be able to sell it out. Not only for this time, but when you do it again, you can say, last time I did this, we sold out in 3 days. You don't want to miss it. When you start to know this stuff and understand it, you start to look at emails that you get differently. Gracefully Digital 3 says, I am taking notes, coach. Awesome. When you start to see this stuff, you can like, oh, that's why they said that in the copy. I get it. Because this is for high ticket stuff. There's also a way to talk about low ticket stuff. There's also a way to talk about continuity, etc. Okay. How do you sell it? For most businesses, high price points deserve a important note. For most businesses, high price points like this deserve a one-on-one consultation. So you're basically going to think of or have a list of your current customers, your previous customers, and anyone who has shown a warm interest. You're not going to send it to everybody. You can also text people, get into DMs, but you're not going to do this cold outreach. Like, hey, I noticed that you da-da-da. That's not what this is. Okay. Then you are going to only have a few available, and you're going to work on some of these things we talked about. You're going to throw that into the offer, and you're only going to sell this if you want to deliver it. Don't be like, oh, I sold 3 and now I got to do it. That's going to suck. Do things you have fun with. Like when I do my offers, I make sure it involves me going to some sort of concert or sporting event too. Front row or suite. When I do my big offers, I did the Beyonce offer. Some people were from Inner Circle, but most people paid to not only, like, the real offer for that Beyonce suite from May was you got to film at my studio in LA, and I directed you and we created content for you. That was the main offer. Then there was a bonus of you get a seat in my suite at Beyonce. Because I'm going to make sure I'm going to have fun with it. And if I'm not doing that, I'm doing something where I'm like, no, I'll take 5 calls. Yeah, I'll do 5 1-hour calls. Sure. Don't do something where you're like, oh man, I got to sell this. And oh man, they said yes. You want to be stoked. You want to be popping water when they do this. Okay. I'm sober, so I'm saying that. Okay. How do you sell it? One-on-one calls. Get into their DMs. Get into their text messages. Because they're warm. And if they say no, remember, 90% are going to still say no, even though they're warm. That's not what this is. 90-95% will still say no. You're going to do it once a quarter when you really need to, or maybe you'll do it a little ahead of time so you don't get caught up. And you're not going to annoy people, but you are going to send out messages. You're not going to be timid about this. Be timid, and things stay the same. Now, we talked about 5x and 10x the price. You can even go as high as 50x the price for the right offer. And for some people, what that means is like what we're talking about is, oh, the big offer is $500 or $200. For some people, it's like $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. Make sure you have a time constraint on it. We're only doing it this week. We're only doing it for 4 days. We're only doing XYZ. Okay. Now there's some really awesome stuff. There's really awesome stuff in here that we get. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you 3 examples. Now that I got my phone charged, I'll give you 3 examples, then I'm going to head out and probably have dinner. Okay, so the first example would be B2C, business to consumer, fast cash offer in the fitness space, just to give you a visual so you can understand it. Let me know if this has been helpful, y'all. The offer, as an example for him, was a one-on-one year-long total transformation package. So remember, even though you're doing a fast cash, it doesn't mean that it has to be delivered fast. You could sell a VIP day that they can decide on, or they can book it for 3 months out. They get 90 days to book it. Does that make sense? That's really helpful. You don't have to oh, I sold 10 of these. I gotta deliver. No, you really don't. So for him, it's fitness. One-on-one year-long total transformation package. AKA look like a Greek goddess or god by next year, whatever. Okay, core, tailored supplements, meals, workouts, photo shoots, the works. Think about that. I haven't even thought about a photo shoot. Add a photo shoot to something like that. I added a photo shoot to our YouTube workshop at the very last minute. I said, I want a photographer to take pictures of the event so we can put it on the website. And then they were like, okay, well, I can do headshots too. I'm like, yeah, perfect. Now we have beautiful headshots. And it just made the offer. That's a $1,500 offer. It made it so much cooler. So is there a way to incorporate a photographer who can give that output for whatever this is, if it's in person? Bonus 1, nutrition plan designed for a year and an introduction to a meal prep company to deliver food. Bonus 2, workouts with you one-on-one 3 times per week. He's going crazy with it. Bonus 3, 24/7 personal cell phone access. And he says later, I'm going to skip over and come back, but he says later, if you think to yourself, I'm not giving anyone my cell phone number, you are missing the point. It's not about giving people access to your cell. It's about offering crazy value. You have to balance what your customers find crazy valuable, how many of those things you'll do, and if those things demand prices that would overflow your bank account in a few days. He's preaching right there. Let's go back to the second of a third of 3 examples. The second is B2B, business to business. If you're selling to other businesses, a fast cash offer could look like, let's say you're a marketing agency. That was, by the way, $10,000. Sorry, I didn't tell you the amount. $10,000 was his idea. This is $50,000 per year if you're an advertising agency. I just talked to somebody who has a $100,000 offer. One person. Okay, offer 1 year personal brand explosion, AKA get famous package. You get a script. You script, film, edit, post all content 4 times per year. I'm undercharging, by the way, for my YouTube studio. Bonus, additional social media platform, lead magnet creation, and an organic funnel built with video sales letters to convert max leads. So that's just like B2B. A business needs what you have. You're going to just give them everything they need. And I would even go crazier on that, actually. I'd go crazier. The third is recurring max cash offer. Monthly price times 12. So this is a recurring continuity, still a max cash. He didn't put an amount, but he said this is kind of like a customized one. So your offer would be 1 year to some ultimate result. Write down somewhere what your ultimate result would be. This is a fun exercise, by the way. You don't have to do this. So why don't you just get creative with it and say, what would I do if I was going to do something like this? What would my main offer be? 1 year, in 1 year, I'll give you this crazy result. Now make sure it's legal and it's healthy and it's safe. Okay. Bonus 1, custom work on the thing they struggle with the most. Bonus 2, the thing that makes it faster for them to complete. Bonus 3, the thing that makes it virtually guaranteed that they achieve it, but you don't call it a guarantee. That's what he says. He said, this offer does exceptionally well. You can offer it to the existing customer base. It essentially gives them additional value for prepaying for the year. Typically, you need to offer little else beyond the bonuses to get 10% to say yes. Now, I don't know if you can get 10% to say yes to this, but if you got one person to say yes to it, that's money in the bank. Okay, TWCB says, if I raise the price of a digital product and few people or no one buys it, what should I do? Drop the price? Yeah. If nobody buys it, first of all, who knows that? I'll give you a moment. You raise the price on something. Nobody buys it. Who knows that nobody bought it? You do. Okay. Okay, we're going to lower the price again. We're doing a special. The point is that nobody can see that information unless you tell them. I have done things where I've done a big promotion and nobody bought it. And I'm like, wah, wah. All right, I'll go back or I'll keep it that price and, maybe that's the end of that. But nobody knows. And yeah, there are multiple things. A Sparkfire is saying reposition it or tie it to your customer's biggest problem. Yeah, multiple ways to make it sell, to make it work. But if you're just concerned about, I put myself out there and I make it this offer and nobody takes it, what do I do? I mean, it happens to me every week. Something doesn't work, and because that thing didn't work, I figure out a way for the other thing to work. To the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. I did $17,000 in a weekend in July because I needed it to work. And 2 important points. Ultra premium prices for ultra premium value. If you think to yourself, I'm not giving anyone my cell phone, you're missing the point. You want to give them crazy value. You have to balance what your customers find crazy valuable, how many of those things you'll do, and if those things demand prices that would overflow your bank account in a few days. And then the second main point he wants to say is exclude your cooled off leads. He said it over and over again. This is for warm leads, these cash plays, okay? Fast cash plays work best with warm audiences. So if your list has I'm sorry. I had a moment for a second. I couldn't understand this word. Neglected leads, aka you haven't sent them anything for 6 months or more. Consider them excluded from this offer. But then he goes on to say, start warming them up for next time. Smart. Somebody wanted to know again what this book is. So I'm telling you what's going on. So here's what's happening. Alex Hormozi released this book last weekend. He made $100 million plus on his offers. This book is the main book. You can go to some of my recent YouTube videos and inside my memberships to get this for free. Just pay shipping. I don't get any money for it. I paid for it for you. Then I bought his $6,000 offer, which came with those 200 books and more that I've been giving away, and came with this from his playbook. This is the big playbook. Oh no. Hold on. Anyway, I'm not going to show it again because it's too big. And I'm reading from some of the playbooks. And then on top of that, I have my playbook that I had before he had his playbook. Arlan's Revenue Playbook came out earlier this year. You can go to arlansrevenueplaybook.com to get the ebook or the audio version. You can also join my memberships, Your First 5K or Arlan's All Access. You get it for free. And we're going to close things out by making sure that to donate. Donate to this. Now I'm going to put, let's see. Okay, let's finish strong, y'all. I just gave you all, how much time did we spend here? Let's see. We're an hour and a half in on a Wednesday night. I did this to help you, and I also did this to help creating coding careers the nonprofit who needs to raise $30,000 by Friday or they go under. I'm helping them raise money in a really fun way. If you go to the link that is pinned to the top of YouTube, the pinned comment, you click on that link. You pay $112 or something similar. Every time someone donates, they pay $1 more. When you pay that, you automatically get $1,200 worth of my courses for free as a gift. We're doing this all the way to 250 because when we reach 250 in our bump sale, it's going to be the equivalent of more than $30,000 that they need. We started this on Monday night, just 2 days ago. We're already past $6,000 of our goal. We have reached 112. We need to go to 250. You can donate more than once. I already donated twice. I'm going to donate again, probably 2 more times. I've also donated $300,000 worth of courses that I could have sold for free because I believe in it this much. So get this deal. You could either pay me $249 for one course or donate $120 and get 4 courses. Which one's better? Which one's better? Diego says, I just found you last week because I joined a course where they talked about Alex Hormozi. You showed up in my algorithm. I'll be joining your first 5K. Woohoo! From Ensenada. Thank you. That's amazing. Thanks for letting me know. Does everybody understand the assignment? If you've already donated, you can donate again. I'll see your name there. Classy Chick 120. What's the 120? Let's see. I'm saying 112. What are you saying 120? I think it's 112. Either way, y'all go and purchase. Y'all go donate. It's tax deductible. It's to a nonprofit. I don't make any money from it. I'm donating money. Everybody understand that? You're going to get the courses immediately. Immediately. Let me know what the donation amount says to you. Please go to it. Yeah, the books are paid because the books are like $30. The Hormozi books, they're $30 plus shipping. I've paid for the books for you, but you have to pay the $10 or so shipping. That's what's up. So you can see that in different links. Okay, somebody tell me the amount because I'm not understanding because I'm seeing 112. Is 112 to y'all? Just go to the link. Look for the green button. Yeah, 112. Okay, let's get that going. 120. It should be 120. It should be 150 by now. Come on, y'all. I know you can do it. I believe in you. It's for a good cause. It's tax deductible. You get $1,200 worth of courses. If you like this 90 minutes, imagine what 4 deep dive courses about YouTube, AI, school memberships, and sales pages could do for you. What could you learn from those courses by paying $100? What could you learn? It's just like, it's unreal value. We talk about value for 90 minutes. This is unreal value that I'm talking about. All right, y'all. I have enjoyed myself. Queen Latifah was in here for some reason and Instagram. Maybe she accidentally came in. You know how sometimes it pops up and you just accidentally click on something? But she was in here. Everybody saw that. Who saw that with me? I should have taken a screenshot, but I was too shocked. Y'all run, run, run. We're doing this till Friday. But every time someone donates, it goes up by $1. And we're trying to get there faster than Friday. We're trying to get there like, if we can get there by Thursday night, that'll be the most helpful. If we can get to 250, and I know we can do it. I just know it. Tell people. Yeah, I don't think it's an accident either. I think she came in here for a reason. I'm so happy that Queen Latifah was in here. Y'all saw me though. I kept it cool, right? Y'all saw that. Did I keep it cool? Was I a debonair? Was I smooth? Yeah. Covered with Rachel says, your lives are always fire. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, the replay for this is going to be available on YouTube. I'm going to hope that it'll be available on Instagram. Sometimes it craps out, but I'm going to make sure that I try my very best. What were your biggest takeaways? Tell me your biggest takeaway that you had from this session. I really want to know. And then I'm going to head out. Yoshi says, bless you, Arlan, for this session. Thank you. Joy says, I'm tapped in from Chicago. We'll be re-listening to the segment. Joy says, we were born cool. Wixon Wine said I was cool as a cucumber. That's right. All right. What were some takeaways? Let's hear it. Let's hear it, y'all. I'll put my little playbook back together. Hopefully I won't break the desk here. Things were falling. I had my mics falling everywhere. It's still precarious. I will say that. Okay, come on. There we go. The VIP day was big for somebody. Tiffany said the VIP day was a game changer for her. Gracefully said, I really need to reprice my offers. Yep. At least think about it. At least think about it. All right. Covered with Rachel says, I love the idea of adding photography and making year-long outcome packages. Fantastic. Fantastic. Copyright Brown says, make the bonus list outstanding. Yep. We're talking about those fast cash plays. You play them every quarter. You don't do it every day. It's something really special. It's for your warm audience, your current and past customers, and people who have told you that they're interested. 5 to 10, 5x to 5x, 10x, exactly. You all are awesome. It has been my pleasure and my honor talking to you tonight. I'm going to go chill, maybe have some dinner, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks, everybody. Let me see how gracefully I can end this. Bye, y'all.